rise in building. As the fire department was responding, multiple police units that were patrolling the area arrived first. Officer Scott Johnson and Officer Michael Connor arrived on the scene behind a 4-unit apartment building where the vehicle was partially on fire near the front tires. Officer Connor retrieved an extinguisher from his patrol car and began to try to extinguish the fire. Officer Johnson went to the rear of the residence to get a garden hose to help extinguish the fire, but stopped when a neighbor told him that the front of the apartment building itself was on fire. Officer Johnson then went to the front where Officer Andre Bezanson was using his fire extinguisher to try to put out a fire at the front door of the apartment. When he exhausted his extinguisher, he came downstairs and began to retrieve another one. As Officer Johnson was calling for other officers to bring their extinguishers, another neighbor told him that there were people inside the burning apartment. Officer Johnson went to the entrance of the apartment where the door and the area around it were engulfed in flames, and the door handle was missing. Officer Johnson kicked down the door and entered the apartment. The interior of the residence near the door and a couch were on fire, and the apartment was full of smoke. Officer Johnson began searching the residence to locate the people inside. He found the first victim near the back of the residence and led them to Officer Bezanson, who guided him the rest of the way out of the burning apartment. Officer Johnson went back to search the back bedrooms and located a female victim on the back balcony. Officer Johnson led her to Officer Danielle Smoke, who entered the burning living room and guided the female victim the rest of the way out of the apartment. The officers also rescued a small dog that was hiding under the kitchen table and evacuated the neighboring apartments. The fire crews then arrived and completely extinguished the vehicle as well as the apartment building and limited the fire damage to one of the 4 apartments. Meanwhile, as Officer Harold Brown was approaching the scene, he observed a suspicious individual who was fleeing the area, and he quickly detained him for further questioning. The individual later confessed to starting the fires with gasoline and is in custody and charged with multiple offenses, including attempted murder. These events all happened very fast, within a matter of just a few minutes. But due to their quick thinking and selfless actions, these police officers saved the trapped occupants from possible injury or death. They also limited property damage and captured the suspect who was responsible. Their actions reflect great credit upon themselves and the North Charleston Police Department, and they assisted with the life-saving mission of the North Charleston Fire Department. And so, for their actions that exemplify the highest level of public service, I am pleased to present the Chief's Award for Meritorious Action to PFC Andre Bezanson, Master Patrol Officer Harold Brown, PFC Scott Johnson, PFC Michael Connor, and PFC Danielle Smoke.
Chief, men and women of the police department, I want you to know that we think these 5 are reflective of all of our men and women who work for us in our police department and our fire service. Truly dedicated individuals trying to make sure that they do their job, protection of property and life. Chief, I want to salute you and Chief Gregory, who's out of town, to let you know that we appreciate your leadership